today's video, I'm gonna give you guys my review of my BMW 440i Gran Coupe M-Sport, which is over there. Honestly, this should have been the first video that I made with the Beamer, but I thought that I wanted you guys to see more of it before I more Beamer videos before I gave you this review. And then I had to make this review now because in about a week we're gonna get new wheels and then it won't be stock anymore. So I want to give you guys my impressions and then my my objective review of this 440 sleeker 3 series, which and then it's only supposed to be a regular 440, but it has 2 doors. So this is heavier than the regular 440, I think, because of its extra 2 doors, but I think that it adds more practicality to the car as opposed to a regular 2-door, just a regular 2-door, and then you don't have to compromise practicality like you do with the regular 2-door. It's called the Black Sapphire Metallic, and then it came with this 400 M wheel. You only get that if you get an M Sport, and then this is the M Sport, as you can see by these I don't know what they're supposed to be like. It's not a diffuser, but yeah, you can't, it's not really that noticeable because of the color. But if you were to get like any other regular color, any other bright color like a white or red, silver, you would see that the M Sports in the 440 that have like a kind of diffuser-ish. I don't even know exactly what to call them. And then the M Sports differentiate themselves with these bumpers, like if you get an M4, you would get an entirely different bumper than this. And so this is the M Sport bumper that you would get. And then if you don't get the M Sport, you would just get like a regular bumper, which isn't as aggressive as this one. And then you can see like the Gran Coupe, like the Gran Coupes. Well, I have to say this is like a cheap sticker. So the Gran Coupe essentially makes this car a hatchback, which is especially useful. And then, so this interior color is called Black Saddle Brown. It's not the upgraded leather that you would get. This is the regular Dakota leather. And so my 440 is missing the BMW individual leather. Basically, it's a better quality of leather, and then the leather extends all the way here until the glove compartment. But it's not. But other than that, I pretty much have everything that I would need in this car. Let's go get inside. And then you can see that this car is really low. And it's lower than the 3 Series slightly because it has a lower center of gravity, and then it's wider than the 3 Series. And if you look to the back, you can see that let me turn this on. Now you can see that the sloping roof line over there limits headroom a little bit, but not as much as it does in the Stinger. And I'll show you guys that later on. So the M Sport package gives you these sexy steering wheels. Got this, I believe the technology package gives you this big display, or is that because this is 2017? But 2017. But I believe that the previous years you would get the kind of square-ish touchscreen, but I'm not so sure. Car has let me focus on that for you. Right, my car has a driver's assistance package, with the rear view camera, park distance control, which honestly those are the only driver's assistance I would need, because I don't need collision mitigation or blind spot monitoring or whatever. And the M Sport package, this is the only option on the M Sport package that I would choose for something else if I could, because, well, they don't look good in a black exterior colored car. They got the sport seats, which I'll talk about later on. And then you have this nice wood trim right here, which honestly look great in person. These are much better than the brushed aluminums that you could get in a 440, and they just add to the overall luxurious feeling of the car. And my camera's not focusing. Okay, so we got the M Sport variable suspension over there, got the M steering wheel over there, and we got the aerodynamic kit, which I already told you guys about. Shadowline exterior trim, which is basically a blacked out package of no chrome, and then anthracite headlight. So basically black headlight everywhere. And then technology package, navigation, head-up display, online BMW apps, advanced RTTTI, I don't know what that stands for, but remote services, which connected app compatibility, which is very convenient if you want to turn on, lock your car, turn on the ventilation. For some reason you can't have remote start in a BMW, which is one of the many flaws in a BMW, besides this that I already told you guys about. Yeah, that's not fun. Yeah. And then you have the sport automatic transmission. You have Runflats, crap flat tires, garage door opener, blah 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 blah. Xenon headlights, automatic climate control, Hummer Garden surround sound, refrigerant, which I think it's in here. I apologize if this review sounds very amateurish, because this is my first time reviewing a car, and nevertheless my own car, so I'm trying my best to be as objective as I possibly can be. Guys, if you can see that sunset over there, it's just awesome. Okay, so back over here. It's kind of tight to get into, but once you get into here, it's not that bad. I just want to say first that I am about 5'11", it's too dark. Just want to say that I am about 5'11" or 6 even. I'm not sure, because depending on who's measuring it, you could have different results, but I'm about 184, 185 centimeters tall. So if you're on the other side of the world, you could tell me, you could tell how tall or how short I am. Okay, so it was hard to get into, but once you're actually inside, you actually have a little bit of room here. And if I put my head all the way back, the only thing that's touching the roof is my hair, so it's not that bad. So my driving position, and then I only have about, well, I basically don't have much leg room left, but it's not touching the back of the seat. I still have some room, and I can still move my legs around. So, and then there's this large hump, which makes this more of a 2+2 instead of a 2+3. Okay. Now on to the seats. So these are the sport seats that you would get in the M Sport package, and these are 10-way adjustables. And then you have a 2-person memory seat over here, and then basically, and then you have this thigh extender, which the only thing I don't like about them is that when you extend it all the way, it leaves a big hole here, which, you know, crumbs and dirt can easily pile off there. So, and then you have lumbar support here. You have bolster adjustment here. The passenger side has all that too, if I'm not mistaken. exactly identical 10-way adjustable seats. And yeah, these are, even though these are called sports seats, they're actually more comfortable than you would believe. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and take a drive. So I hope you can hear me right now because I'm on a different camera, and then I don't have a microphone for this camera because it's an action camera. I do actually have a microphone for it. It's at home. I accidentally forgot about it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and take the 440 for a drive. So in this drive, we're gonna face some traffic because it's rush hour. It's rush hour right now, and then we're gonna try to get some hard accelerations and all that, so you can hear how it sounds and how it drives. But basically, we're gonna go over every scenario that you could possibly have when you own this car, which is, you know, city driving, traffic, and then highway. So this is a small road. I can't really go fast. The speed limit is only 25, and it's like a lot of speed bumps. So yeah. First thing you notice when you get in the car is how smooth the engine is. So this B58 engine is brand new for the 440. It's the 440. Back when it was 435, they had the N55, which is less refined than the B58. So the B58 makes this car feel much more like a naturally aspirated, because of how linear the power band is, how smooth it is. You don't feel a lot of turbo lag at first. But when you're driving slow like this, you may feel a little bit, you may feel like the gears are a little bit jerky in the lower gears, but once it's up and running, it's actually very smooth. Going over these speed bumps, in comfort mode, you don't feel anything. Well, it's not that you don't feel anything, it's that it's really smooth, it's really comfortable. One thing I'll have to comment though is this steering wheel. It's very fat, and then and it has a nice grip on your hands. I mean, this is one of the most perfect steering wheels I've ever seen on a car. And this design is just beautiful. I mean, that's objectively speaking, but I love it. I love it. Other notable mentions are, the Mercedes AMG steering wheels. They're just really sexy too. But let's take a right here and then keep driving this hill, and then we're still gonna stay in comfort mode because it's a lot of traffic, and I don't really want to go to sport mode because of how jerky it will be. But yeah, that's just, the shifts are really fast and smooth with the ZF8 speed, and then sometimes you don't even notice it's shifting. That's how smooth this transmission and this engine is. But one thing that you'll probably notice about this this driving portion of the video is that there may be a lot of road noise because of the Runflats that came with the car, and then add to the fact that there's a lot of wear on these tires. And yeah, I apologize beforehand, guys. The kind of tires that you have, and then the amount of wear that you have on the tires, adds to the road, whether you have a lot of road noise or not. And you see this traffic. We're gonna take a right here because we want to go on the highway. If you live in Atlanta, you know where this area is, and you know how bad this place can get when it's traffic like this during the afternoon. I'm glad I don't work around this area. I really do. So we're gonna take a right here, and then the blinkers work. Thank God. And then let's put in sport mode here. Sport plus. Actually, let's go back to comfort because it's traffic again up ahead. So, I told you that before, when this car is in comfort mode, it's very relaxed, very docile, and then it's very compliant. It's just very comfortable for everyday driving. But once you put this in Sport Plus mode, it turns into a completely different car. It's very, let's just say, like, it's very angry, and then the transmission is very fast at shifting when you use the paddles. Like now, we're in 7th gear, 6th gear, 5th gear, 4th gear. I don't know if the sound is coming through the camera or not, but I hope you guys can hear the sound that this car makes when you really push it towards the higher RPMs. Take a little shortcut here to one of my favorite back roads, so you can see how the car is handling really is, even with almost worn out tires at 30,000 miles. Okay, so we're at one of my favorite back roads. So we're gonna leave it on sport setting. I mean sport transmission on the transmission, and then we're gonna leave this in Sport Plus and see how it does. Ready? Now, even though these tires are almost worn out, they still have plenty of grip, which is sort of amazing. But I'm very sure the road noise is killing you guys. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, I said guys again. I'm sorry. I keep saying sorry too. There's a lot of bad habits that I need to fix. But yes, so we're gonna make a U-turn here and put it on manual setting. I'm not saying anything because I want you guys to enjoy this road. the brakes still bite pretty hard. Okay, and as far as the brake goes, they're great. They bite pretty hard, but it's just that when you first step on them, they have a little bit of dead travel, only a little bit of dead travel, and then after that they bite pretty hard. But you have to progressively press deeper and deeper for them to bite more. So that's great. They're not one of those brakes that when you first step on it, your drink is gonna fly away or just you know get you whiplash. And honestly, I'm very surprised that I didn't see a lot of traffic on the way home, because I'm heading home right now as I'm recording this video, and usually around this time is where I get really triggered because of how heavily trafficked it is, you know. But for daily driving in this Beamer, it's perfect. Put it in comfort, and you'll never have to worry about catching up to anybody. Even on the highway, you leave it in comfort, you still can pass most people on the road. Most people. And once you put it on Sport Plus, you have to look at your speeds, because you can get a ticket pretty easily with this car. My only gripe with this car is that I don't have launch control. In the Stinger, I have launch control, which lets me, when you do launch control, it's pretty fun. But I can't do launch control here without spinning the tires back. The closest thing to a launch control that I can get on this car is to brake torque it. And that's not, and the wheels just keep spinning. I don't know if it's because of the tires, or it's because I don't know. It's just very, very sad. And then you see this interior, even though it's not like all flashy, all advanced like Audi and Mercedes are doing nowadays. It's ergonomically perfect. You sit here, you put your hands on the steering wheel, and then as you're driving, you can pretty much figure out the layout of where every button is without having to take your eyes away from the road. Because I think that when they designed this interior, they designed it to be as simple as possible, but while being very, very practical for the driver. This is a driver's oriented cockpit, and then I think that these kind of interiors are actually better than some of the complicated ones. I mean, like, let's take a look at the C43. The C43, even though it has a much nicer interior, the interface is so hard to control. With the mouse pad tracky thing. With the iDrive in the BMW, all you gotta do is just put, let's just say you want to go to menu, you want to go look at your media, radio, and it's super responsive. There's no lag whatsoever. Support display, and then you can even customize it to have a split screen. Toggle it to the right, and you can look at the map. I mean, practicality is the name of the interior here, and I think that what they hope to accomplish was to create an interior so simple while creating a better experience for the driver, so that the driver can focus more on the driving experience, which I think caters to the ultimate driving machine moniker that BMW is going with. And yes, that's a very good excuse of justifying this interior. Sometimes it does feel like it's on the cheaper end, but at the same time, I have to think that this is based on the 3 Series, on the 2 Series, and then it doesn't really describe what BMW is as a brand in general, because the 5 Series and the 6 Series and the 7 Series interiors are all very luxurious. It's just that you have to remember that BMW is it's for drivers. It's for mainly driving experience. And if I have to look at the center dash here to figure out which button where every button is, then that's gonna take my eyes off the road, and I guess that detracts from the experience. I guess that's their way of thinking about it. But anyhow, guys, we're coming close on this video because it's already dark, and then I'm almost home and there's nothing but traffic now. I hope you guys like this video. See, I said guys again. I hope you like this video, and then if you haven't, please go ahead and subscribe and help this channel grow, and follow us on Instagram. And then any feedback that you have for me, I will definitely reply to whatever it is, as long as it's constructive criticism and not just like blind hate, like, oh, I'm a Beamer guy, blah blah blah. Please just, some feedback, so I can help, so I can grow this channel more, so I can have better content for you guys. That being said, thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.